高橋よいチャンネル。
Are there any rules that are so ridiculous that it makes you laugh?
I haven't been checking them recently, so I'm not entirely sure because they might have been revised. When it comes to rules, the Ministry of Education is the most amusing. For example, elementary schools should be built facing south so they have sunlight. While I understand what they are trying to do, if you do that in Okinawa, that's terrible. And they actually do it. A south-facing building in Okinawa is just too hot. They don't even consider the regional differences. People talk about turning on the air conditioner, but after all everyone doesn't turn it on. It's really laughable.
Is the Ministry of Education the worst of all?
Yeah, MEXT is definitely the worst. There are many rules that haven't been changed since they were made. For example, do you know why the ceiling is high in elementary schools? It's because there used to be many coal stoves, so they had to make the ceiling higher for the smoke, but there aren't any stoves in elementary school now, and the rules are left unrevised. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but when you think about the construction cost, it's better to build it normally.
Are the rules left the same because they don't want to go through the tedious process of changing it?
I think they aren't even aware of the situation.
Are these rules basically a law?
These are all rules that are abiding by the ministerial ordinance law, such as law and cabinet order.
What about not allowing Kokuga-kun to have a new veterinary medicine program? Is that a law too?
That was just a notice. It's very weird, and they should not make the decision and deal with this with a notice. Normally, the people who want to establish a new school have to apply to the Ministry of Education to earn an approval, but they didn't even allow the school to apply with just one notice. Why can the law say it's okay at first, but later on revoke it with a notice? Why is it okay for the law to allow it and have the notice say the opposite? The law says to apply when necessary. It's not right to say that's not allowed. I'm sure you can win if you sue them, but you never know what they will do to you later on, so that's why the university is not issuing a case.
Why are they like that?
They are just not intelligent. A normal government official would list out all the requirements and inform them about what they are missing. They don't understand what would prevent people from filling the requirements, so they suddenly write, "You must not approve." However, they did not want the school to fulfill those requirements, so all of a sudden, they issued a notice to state their application cannot be fulfilled instead of understanding what would prevent people from submitting an application in the first place. This is about intelligence.
Are the people working in the Ministry of Education at a lower level within the elites who graduated from Tokyo University?
No one goes there.
Which ministry is popular among students who graduated from Tokyo University?
The Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Internal Affairs and Communications are popular because they have power and influence. Once you go to a different suburban or rural area and become a vice governor, you will get promoted to a higher position. The Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry and the Police Department are also popular.
Is the Ministry of Education at the bottom of the list?
I would say it's even lower. Like, who is even going? Smart people wouldn't go.
Are there any other rules aside from the Ministry of Education that's weird?
When they liked paperwork, they decided to make sure they would need a seal for everything. But in 2000, they already made the decision to make administrative procedures online.
Why didn't things improve?
Because everyone loves using paper.
Isn't there a Hanko industry organization?
It wasn't because they were considerate towards them, it's just that everyone liked paper. I personally don't understand the purpose of printing out every single time. In 2022, I was still a government official when we were working on making the administrative procedures online. I'm skilled at digitalization. That was when I made the tax filing online. That way, you wouldn't need a Hanko. For the tax filing, I didn't even consider using the Hanko in the first place.
E-tax is very useful.
I know, right? I was actually the one who first made it in the early 2000s.
Oh, you're the one who made it, Mr. Takahashi.
Isn't it efficient? It's a system that makes the procedure of collecting taxes much faster. Maybe I finished it faster because it was about collecting money. I don't understand why they don't use the e-tax system for the special benefit. Using the e-tax system, it doesn't require a handco. It's a matter of getting the money you're paying. When it comes to getting money, the government works fast, but when it comes to handing out cash, they don't really work. There aren't many people who can use the digital system in the government office. I was asked to do all sorts of tasks involving digitalization. I have all the devices like iPad mini and an iPad. And I choose what to bring every time. Everything I wrote is digitalized so I can see it whenever I want. I can see the things I wrote in the past and the research I've done on this device. I'm always checking so I make fewer mistakes. I have about 10 computers in my house. I even build them myself when I have time.
You build computers?
Once you buy the motherboard, a CPU, and a hard disk, you can build one right away. I've never bought pre-made desk computers. I still buy laptops because those are difficult to build.
皆さんの質問をお待ちしております。よかったらチャンネル登録をお願いいたします。